Hello, everyone. I'm Chester44, also known as Fly, and welcome to this Let's Play of Vescavoracious. Last episode, we made our way back to base, spoke with Regil a bit, got our other companions leveled up, and sold a load of stuff. And then I just realized after I did that, I forgot to actually give everyone their spells. So let's toss a few spells into the spell slots for people that need it. Definitely need Restoration and Cure Critical Wounds there, Cleric. You have none. You are at will. You have spells that you need to do. Level 3 spells. Let's see. How about See Invisibility, a couple Dispel Magics, a couple Hold Persons, I guess, and a Heroism. Nothing else for you. You can go ahead and take another ear-piercing scream. You can take, I guess, another acid arrow. Level 3 is fine. Level 4, Phantasmal Killer. Phantasmal Killer, greater invisibility. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to cast that for a while. Meta magic spells need that. You are at will, you are at will. Let's see. You can get another level 1 spell. I guess another blast, just in case. Level 2, you're fine. 3, you're fine. 4. Well, you can get Thorn Body, a Cure Critical Wounds, and a Restoration. And for the Paladin, you can go ahead and take Communal Protection from Chaos and Evil. Okay, so we're going to be down a few spells, not a big deal. For what we're doing next, let's try taking Regil for a bit. We'll take you. We'll take Lan, you're a good fighter. You can do some healing. We're going to be low on healing. We'll take Daerin, and we'll take you. Alright, and from here, looks like we're going to Leper's Smile. Someone on the road, okay. Alright, what have we got in here?
My way.
Oh, something we can loot over here, at least. Not that it's worth much. Oh, Babaus! Get him dead. And got him. A couple of random Babaus. Sure, why not? And there's a note here. Come to my camp if you want to talk. I have much to share. A friend. Drawn on the back of the note is a map with crossed lines marking a spot. Okay, then.
Follow if you dare.
And that's all we found. Someone wants to talk with us. I have no idea who. How very curious.
I'm off.
Inconspicuous camp. How inconspicuous. Let's go into Leper's Smile. Danger and distress rest heavy on the scales, their measure soaring on the perilous march to Dresden. The army moves steadily along the bank of the West Selen, scarred with canyons and ravines. Suddenly, a group of scouts returns. Anevia, the leader of the group, makes 2 urgent signs to the soldiers. Wait and quiet. She dashes through the ranks to the commander who awaits her report. We're in trouble. The road ahead is split by a canyon. To get to Dresden, we'll have to go down and then up the other side. But the canyon is swarming with foul creatures, Vescavors. A real pain in the neck. They won't shy away from our soldiers' weapons, and they've already managed to gobble someone up. Looked like a caravan of refugees from Canabras that lost its way. No one has ever reported Vescavors so far from the center of the world wound. Where did they come from? Anevia bites her lip. They still haven't noticed us, but that won't hold true for long. Maybe if we retreat quickly. The commander makes a sign for her to stop. Find out what else is known about the enemy. Those nasty little critters, they can ruin your gear and drive you to nuts with their buzzing. They got a queen, the mother of the whole swarm. She's a right horror, but if we kill her, the bulk of the swarm will scatter, and we'll take care of the rest of them somehow. After hearing her scout's report, the commander prepares to convene a council to determine a plan of action. The commander and her companions convene a field council. The army cannot march around the obstacle, for there is no other road. Retreat is far too risky. Should the swarm notice the army and catch it out in the open, no one would survive. None utters the word trap, but fear hangs in the air. A swarm of omnivorous beasts just happens to be in the enemy's path. Someone has arranged this for their own nefarious ends. Rustling, grating, squeaking, humming, everyone hears the voice of the swarm, though the sky before the army remains clear. For now. How long until it is darkened by the flying spawn of the abyss? An idea, a decision, straight and sharp like a soldier's sword, appears in their minds. The Crusader Council grows grim. One unit must act as live bait to lure the swarm out of the canyon and clear the path to the Vescavor Queen. The commander will rush the monster, killing her quickly before the swarm decimates the army. They will get but one chance. A dark question looms. Who will lead the fateful squad and be consumed as bait? In moments of extreme stress, one often says one thing while meaning quite another. These hidden words often reveal many a curious thing. And what do we see here? Irabeth nobly states, "I am an officer best suited for the mission." But in truth she means, I cannot burden another with my responsibility. "Valai Galisarn, send me!" Nura the historian emerges with an unexpected suggestion from behind the commander's back. This is just the sort of situation where ingenuity and knowledge of the enemy will be more useful than swords and armor. While she speaks, she thinks I need to prove myself. The queen has yet to disclose her presence and watches quietly from a distance. Look into the faces of your companions. The Hell Knight Regil steps forward. "My people will fight to the last, even as the sword tears through our armor and strips the flesh from our bones." But his motives are plain. My superiority over the Crusaders will not permit me to cower behind them. I've eaten so many bugs in my life, it's only fair to give them a chance at revenge. The mongrel land hides his fears in plain sight. I'm a dead man walking already, a life such as mine is worthless. And silently he begs for more. Sacrifice me or give me a chance to prove myself. The ones who destruct the swarm will need a healer. Sociel is the only one who speaks plainly. A healer might bring a few through the Vescavors alive. The rest of the council remains silent, and the silence is filled by a chorus of, "There are others better suited, and the commander needs me alive." Does the commander hear these unspoken words? What will they lead her to decide? The fateful troop will be led by... The answer is we send Sociel. The commander and her party disappear among the rocks, preparing to slip down into the canyon, while the swarm is distracted by their bait. A tight-lipped Anevia shows the way. Behind them, the final preparations are being made. Sociel's eyes grow cloudy for a moment. There are few creatures as abominable for a follower of Shelyn as Vescavors, devourers of flesh and destroyers of matter. This trial will not be easy. The soldiers tread fearfully down the road toward the dark edge of the canyon ahead. The rift that yawns open before them whispers, rasps, rattles in thousands upon thousands of voices. Vescavors gather below, but the sky is open above them, and the flying creatures might rise up and attack at any moment. The soldiers soon find the first body, the mangled corpse of a refugee from Canabris. A few straggling Vescavors wriggle inside the dead man's gaping chest. Tiny larvae and greenish shells, all shuffling legs and hinging jaws. They don't seem menacing at all. But then the rasping noise stops for a moment, and a high, vibrating note pierces the air with a new force. A blur of blackish-green cloud rises above the canyon. The swarm has taken the bait. The time to act has come. The leader of this faithful squad shouts, and they shall hold position and fight for the soldiers' lives. Standing in the middle of a formation of soldiers, Sociel utters a prayer to Shelyn. From the outside, it would appear that the cloud of Vescavors will in a moment fall from above and destroy their forces utterly. Hundreds of spawn of the abyss gnaw on bodies and armor, destroying as they consume. But the cleric's power flows forth in waves, healing the wounds of his comrades. As if understanding who is to blame for the unexpected resistance, the spawn covers Sociel like a living carpet. The servant of Shelyn trembles, but does not move or halt his prayers. The soldiers look on with awe as though they are witnessing a holy miracle. Temporary success holds no true hope for the faithful troop. Their foe is no great beast, but a million ravenous creatures, bringing with them the eternal hunger of the abyss. To fight them was to cry upon the wind. Their only hope was to rely on their commander and hope that she was preparing to slay the Swarm Queen. What was happening down in the canyon at that very moment? We'll take the same group with us. Actually, no. I take it back. We're going to be dealing with swarms. And Ulbrig is built for swarms. Oop. Ulbrig, you'll be coming with us. Alright. Anevia, what do you have to say? Spots of light and shadow dance along the walls of the canyon. High above your head, a swarm gathers, dark as a rain cloud. There are so many Vescavors that they block out the sun. Luckily, you've escaped the attention of the swarm, which is focused upon the troops you're using as bait. For now, at least. With a tired gesture, Anevia wipes the sweat and dust from her forehead. There's anxiety in her eyes. Commander, the beast we've come for is on the other side of the main corridor. There's a lot of burrows and plenty of beasts in them, but you better not delve too deep. Our people won't hold out long enough for us to clear the whole area. On the other hand, I saw the bodies of some poor caravanners down one of the side holes. They have some valuable stuff on them. The bugs will eat anything we don't grab. They can't tell the difference between flesh and steel. Wait, so they're eating all the treasure while we're standing around talking? What are we hanging around for? Come on, there's no time to lose. Did you manage to find out where the beasts came from? I'm not sure, but there are clear signs of a ritual closer to the queen bug's lair. And they're fresh. Maybe somebody summoned the scum especially for us. The demon filth figured out that we're never going to let Canabras go. Too bad we don't have a magic specialist who can figure out what those runes mean. The words magic specialist bring Nenio out of her reverie. Huh? What? I am a specialist. I'll get to the bottom of this. What happened? Can you tell me anything useful about the monster? I've never fought these before, so I don't know much. She's a nasty beast. She spits acid and summons her spawn from all around the area. One more thing. When I tried to get closer, I started feeling sick as a dog. I guess like a lot of demons, she knows how to get inside your head. Well, great. Huge, hungry, head-spinning, acid-spitting bugs. And I thought the Crusades were all about the pretty armor and the tasty rations, and sometimes saving beautiful maidens in white dresses from dumb demons. Oh, how interesting. Sounds like a Vescavor queen. An exceedingly rare creature, I must say. I'm looking forward to an encounter to conduct the experiment. The world must know what is more dangerous, mandibles snapping shut on one's hand or acid eating away at one's skin. Sometimes I wonder how you are still alive. I'd be happy to help you with your experiments. I'll dunk you in acid or shove you into mandibles. You won't have to ask me twice. Let's move then. Good luck. I'm right behind you, covering your back. I'll catch up when it's time to deal with the queen. Indeed. Let me drop a save before we start marching in. Alright, let's march in, clear out what we can. And we've got Vescavor Swarm right there. Well, that one died.
I do what I must.
Oh, we got more. Ulbrig, you're gonna go after the swarm. Okay, now for the Royal Guard. Got him. Right, that did hurt a bit. We'll be fine.
Are we in trouble yet?
Why are you all the way over there?
Let's get to the exciting part.
Demonic bug slime. Poisonous not only to everything alive, but also to the land itself. Oh. The bottom of the canyon is split by a narrow crevice, about one stride across at its widest. It's easy enough to jump over, or in places even step across. The obstacle doesn't seem a problem, or even particularly notable. But as you draw closer, you hear a terrible droning sound coming from the crevice. It seems to be howling, as if it's alive. You stare into the darkness of the void, trying to make out where the strange sound is coming from. Not all at once, but your eyes pick out the contours of a body in the darkness. Someone small, perhaps a gnome, a halfling, or a child, rolled up in a ball at the bottom of the chasm under a stone ledge. He's crouched down, his head to his knees, and he's hugging his legs tightly. It appears to be one of the caravanners caught by the swarm. He's crying aloud, one continuous tone, and it strengthens as it echoes through the crevice, building into something truly haunting. Call out to the crying man. Answering your voice, the caravaner looks up. It's a young halfling. The light coming from above reveals a pale, wounded face. Vescavors still wriggle in the poor fellow's eye sockets. A moment later, the halfling drops his head again and continues to cry. He hasn't the strength to do more. We can't abandon him. He's still alive, and the living must be saved. If only I had a rope, I'd pull him out in no time. Try to help the caravaner get out. Not without effort, you manage to clamber down to the bottom of the crevice, tie the halfling with a rope, and pull him up. He doesn't resist, but he's little help either, dangling helplessly like a puppet. The Vescavors inhabiting his eye sockets seem to have eaten their fill, and you easily pull them out and crush them. Their victim sits on the ground and continues to cry, and the sound begins attracting unwanted attention. You hear the humming of disturbed Vescavors above. A mass of them separates from the main swarm and flies toward you.
Obstacle.
Cover me, all right?
Kill it! The halfling you pulled from the crevice didn't move at all as you fought the onslaught of Vescavors. He's still laying on the floor crying. I'll heal you and come back for you later. Magic can heal the caravaner's wounds, but not his mind. For now, there's nothing more you can do for him. He scarcely seems aware of your help, and his crying and shrieking continues. A moment later, you hear another scream from overhead. Leaning precariously over the ledge of the crevice above, one of your men falls to the bottom and dies upon the rocks. The other soldiers, now serving as bait, are up there desperately fighting for their lives. And yours. At least we saved the lost traveler. I think we found where the queen is.
Do it my way.
There it is. I just realized I had taken a lot of pain.
Simple massacre. It's more bloody and performed with
A goat, a lizard,
All right, Lan.
enter a tavern. What'll it be, Lan? The bartender asks.
Alright, let's start attacking.
You won't survive me.
No time for debates.
His queen is probably going to be very tough. But at least we get a surprise round on it. Darin, give it a fire.
precision and grace.
Nenio. Magic missile it. Can I charge to it? I can. There we go. You can at least get closer to it.
Why not both?
And you... Well, you can't death from above, but you can get closer. Alright, Lan. Give us all the shots you can.
Endure this.
Concealment? That's not good. Anevia, be careful. Ow, ow, ow. Darin,
I'll make short
attack.
work of this.
Nenio,
I'll remove
fire
this
an arrow.
obstacle.
As for me, I got an idea. Spell combat. What is its... Touch is very low. Which is... You know what? Prescient attack. And let's go ahead... weak against anything aside from the spell resistance, so you know what? Let's go ahead and Shocking Grasp to boost this.
Wound.
Shocking Grasp spell failed. Son of a bitch.
Strike.
Alright, Woljif, stab this
Distract them for me.
thing. And you can finish it off. Unleashing her last shriek, the Swarm Queen slumps to the ground. Immediately, as if by magic, the distant sounds of battle begin to subside. Several small beasts sit on the mother's body, sinking their mandibles into it. The canyon drowns in the waves of scent, a sweet soporific with a hint of bite, like the crackle in the air before a storm. Lan looks askance at the queen's carcass. The mongrels in the caves under Canabras could eat that, I guess. Anevia approaches the queen's body and grins. That's it, you filth. No more flying. It's good we got rid of her without suffering more losses. Just a little longer and we'd have been forced to bury lots of our fighters in this cursed land. Suddenly, Anevia stops. Her nostrils flare and her eyes scan the floor and the walls of the canyon. She swats, pokes at some lumps of slimy substance, lifts them up to look more closely, smells them, and cringes. You smell it too, right? A suspiciously familiar stink. Aha! Anevia rubs a ball of greenish slime in her hand. I'd bet my life that your gear had this nasty stench when we were entering the canyon. I saw the Bug Queen spraying it around to summon her spawn to her. By the way, did you know that smells are extremely effective in attracting attention not only in the insect world? For example, a tavern keeper in Canabras can, for 10 minutes, purposefully and doggedly search for a rotten fish that turns out to be in the pocket of his apron. Oh, Nenio. Let's see if we can find the source of that smell among my equipment. You and Anevia search through your things and quickly find the source of the smell. A thin handkerchief. Looks like it's been soaked in something like the Swarm Queen's slime. Interesting. I'll be damned. When the Queen was spraying the sweet-smelling goop around, the swarm flew to it like flies to jam. The chewed-up bodies of the caravanners smelled like this too, I checked. Commander, I think some rat planted that handkerchief on you to ensure that the Vescavors would find you. The demons did this. They placed the swarm in our way and made sure I couldn't avoid the ambush. I agree. They never expected a defeat in Canabras, nor our quick march to Dresden. Now they're throwing everything they can at us to stop our advance, including their oversized pet bugs. Anyway, we need to keep our eyes open. That handkerchief could have been planted here by magic, but take it from a professional paranoiac, I think we've got a rat in our camp. In Canabras, we swashed the cultists time and time again, but they were like maggots in a dead hog. Some could have infiltrated our forces too. We have to keep our eyes open and our guard up. It's time we got back to our people. I say we destroy the Queen's body. I've heard the little bugs who eat the flesh of their mother can be reborn as Swarm Queens themselves. That's kind of the last thing we need, right? Fine, Anevia, get rid of the beast's body. Great. Cleaning up after a fight is just what I like. We'll start here, and little by little we'll clean up the entire world wound. Down goes the body. Anevia, Commander! What a relief you're alive! I saw the swarm begin to thin and ran to you immediately. She pauses to catch her breath. Sociel wipes the sweat from his brow. My squad handled the assignment. I healed everyone I could, but my warriors have had quite a fright. It's not very pleasant to be eaten alive, then healed, then eaten and healed again. Ugh. I knew I could rely on you. What happened up there can't be described in words, but you were the one who carried the day, Falag Alisarn. Luckily, our losses were not as great as we feared. Not many are even wounded. But if you'd been a moment later, I am afraid to imagine what might have happened to us. Unfortunately, the insect's acid ruined what was left of the caravan. Of course, I sympathize with those who perished, but we could have used their gear. Yeah, what a waste. We could really do with some supplies. If only they'd died on the road somewhere, of thirst or after meeting some wild animals, we'd be sitting pretty right now. I couldn't let my people die while I was looting corpses that the bugs had left behind. What matters is that everyone's over and we won. What are we going to do now? Since you're here, please take a look around. I found some painted runes and the traces of something that seemed like a ritual. We need to figure out what this is. Nura? Heh, easily done. Nura leans over the magic symbols painted on the stone. I'm no mage, unfortunately, but I'm in the habit of thoroughly documenting all descriptions of rituals and symbols from magic books, especially demonic ones. Someone very recently opened a portal to the abyss here, and summoned someone. It's not difficult to figure out who they summoned. She's lying dead right there. I can guess who carried out the ritual. Handwriting is unique, even when it comes to runes. I examined the Grey Garrison after your success, documenting everything I found for Queen Galfrey, and I'm sure that the hand that drew the rune circles was the same in both instances. It's the work of the same spellcaster. Clever, to set a trap and exhaust us instead of finding us openly. We shouldn't be afraid of demons. We lived through this little trap, didn't we? We'll overcome the next one too. We just need to keep forging ahead. Well, since we finished off the swarm and we know someone is giving us trouble, I suggest we get out of here. I'm done with bugs. Right. Take that. And we'll keep our group as it is for now. I need a lot of healing.
Are made to be broken.
And that'll do. And with that, I am going to end this episode here. Next episode, we're going to explore through the rest of these passages now that we've rushed forward and killed the Vescavor Queen, and then take a look at this cave that's down here. That would be curious. But that'll be in the next episode. So until then, I am Chester44, also known as Fly. Ooh. That is me, Ulbrig, Woljif, Lan, Darren, and Nenio. This has been a Let's Play of Wrath of the Righteous, and I shall see you all next time.